Welcome to MITRA's 84th webinar. Today's webinar is very unique, first of its kind. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome our esteemed guest speakers today, Mr. George Rajkumar and Mrs. Radha Ganesan. Mr. George Rajkumar is country president of Grundfos, India. Grundfos is the largest multinational company which manufactures pumps, and they are not only pioneers in providing solutions to the world's water and climate challenges, but they are the largest company and pioneers in providing inclusive work environment for individuals with different abilities. Mr. Rajkumar's endeavors have shown what can be accomplished above and beyond for individuals with different abilities. He has shown that people with different abilities can be self reliant and contribute to the society, to their families, and to the nation at large. Sir, it is an honor to have you on our platform. Let me also introduce Mrs. Radha Ganesan. Many of you know her. She is the founder and director of Swabodhini School and Vocational Center for Special Children in Chennai, India. She is very vibrant and inspiring, and she began training children with special needs from age 3 to 30 years from 1989, and she's presently focusing on mainstreaming many students into open employment. Many families have benefited from her guidance over the years and are now working in multinational companies. So today, Mr. Rajkumar and Mrs. Radha Ganesan will speak about their efforts and their collaboration, how they have provided vocational training, and how employment opportunities were created, and also a little bit about how corporates can recruit and train them further, and how hopeful the future looks. So let us directly hear from them. Radha ma'am, would you like to take it over from here?
Sure. Good morning. Very happy to be part of this initiative of MITRA. And I really would like to thank Swabodhini for creating this opportunity to have, somebody from the corporate community, from the industry, to be part of our program. And it's a great honor for me to be sharing this platform with him. Where I like to say a few words about welcome, Mr. Rajkumar.
Thank you.
And I'd like to start by saying about Grundfos. Basically, I've known Grundfos for the last decade, and I'll give you a short intro as to how we've gotten there. We just met what do you call? He's the director. He was the chairman of Grundfos, and I met Mr. Ranganath, and then we had a conversation, and then he was saying they were giving us a donation to Swabodhini, and then finally said, "No, Mrs. Ganesan, I would like to employ your boys," and I thought that was the best thing that I've heard in my life. I said I was in tears because I thought this was a great opportunity for people with some kind of difficulties and challenges. So I jumped at the opportunity, and then that's how it began. We actually trained our students very sincerely for the next 6 months on soft skills that were not done earlier, and they were ready to be, starting the internship. And it started in 2010. That's a decade now, and the 3 boys who were placed there were very well received by Grundfos. And for us and for other NGOs, this is a great path-breaking, would say, initiative. So our students have done well because of the grace of God, as well as by the company for having reached out to our children. I always call them children, however old they are. So we were very happy. We are still very happy that they become permanent employees of the company, and they are the breadwinners of their family, and they earn to a tune of over 27,000. I think that's a great success story, and I would like to start with a success story for all the mothers and parents who are here, to say that so much is possible, so much of potential in our children. We have to tap it rightly. There are people who want to help us, and we should see where the avenues are and see how we present our children so that they have a life of dignity. That is our duty and our responsibility, and we have the community to come with us. And it is our duty to see that everybody participates in this process. It's just not an NGO, just not a company, but the whole community. So thank you for this opportunity, and I'd like to pass this on to Mr. Rajkumar. He could say add on to this.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, for setting the context. Also, thank you, Saujanya, for having me on part of this the forum. Also, I'm happy to see the diverse group from different parts of the world and also from India. Okay, good evening and good morning to all the parents who have participated here. Thank you. Yes, as we said, yes, as Radha ma'am said, there are lots of potential which I have come across personally in my life and also as part of Grundfos. This is our duty to tap and identify the talents and abilities what is available with the kids. We need to bring them up and give that upskilling of the whatever the capabilities they can expel in their career. That is how we have started this. Having said that, okay, then the individuals can have an ambition and also can provide. As an individual, I can work with NGOs, I can do support, but it is very only limited. When the organization is behind us and the organization is supporting with the motive, yes, we can do a lot. That is what it's happened when we have joined and with Swabodhini and Grundfos. Grundfos, just to touch upon about Grundfos, it's a purely value-based and sustainable organization. We are based out of Denmark. We have started in India around 23 years back. Sustainability is a key for us. It's a part of our DNA. Also, having said that, sustainability is not an add-on. It is our business. The business what we do is purely on a sustainability basis. Also, we embrace the diversity and inclusion in our organization. That's what we are spreading across. That was the very reason that Ranganath met Mrs. Radhama. So he spontaneously said, why don't we employ your people? Yes, anyone can come and give you the fund and support you, but why don't we give an employment to the people? That was the beginning. Then it is almost 10, 11 years over now. When we started, yes, it was really surprising to me. But just to go back to a little bit of my career, 20 years back, when I first time I traveled to Europe for joining, for visiting my parent company in Denmark, it was really surprise for me to see a separate set of work center and cell put up in our organization where more than 40 plus people were working. So the first thing what we call here is we never name it as autism people, or we call them, we give a respect since we have including in our normal employment. We call this as a differently abled personalities. Also, the work cell where they work, we call as a flex work. So we can give a different type of flexibility into that work cell. Still, they will be getting the job out of them, but at the same time, we are flexible. First, we provide the training and then get the work done later. But so that is when, just going back to my career, that is where it's really inspired me to we wanted to do something else. Then we spoke. We were very young at that point of time. Then Ranganath was our mentor. Then we have discussed. Then why don't we do differently? Then really has really initiated after speaking to Radha ma'am. Then brought this the flex work environment inside our organization. But for the last 10 years, we have done it in a small way. It's only 3, 4 people who participated. But within a couple of years' time, so that is the ability what is lies with the individual, these kind of people. So very, very focused. Then quickly they learned. Then whatever we taught. Within 2 years of time, they have been part of our mainstream work. So today, as a parent or as an individual, if you walk inside our premises or in the shop floor, you will not notice, you can't find any difference between a normal employee and the special kids. So they are all part of our the normal work life. They make the products, they deliver. Also, at the same time, they take the same kind of salary what others for this kind of experience here they're getting. That is what it has been done in the past. Also, last couple of years, we have been contemplating how we will make it to the next level. Yes, we have employed, we are given, yes, we got that we have been fulfilled our sustainability ambition. At the same time, we need to take it up to the next level. Also, in India, It's because the government is pushing the CSR initiatives. Also, the 2% of the profitability has to go towards CSR. Many organizations are going towards sustainability. Also, they are ready to employ. It's in the progress. It's not like you can't compare with the European or American organizations, but it is picking up in including the Indian manufacturing setup. It is starting. So if that is the case, then we should be the forerunners. One, we need to expand our or whatever the activities we are doing inside our organization. Also, should be the example to the others in the peer industries. That is the very reason we wanted to expand our. Also, we have been working with a couple of NGOs for doing that. But unfortunately, we did not take up because of the pandemic. It stuck in the beginning of the last year. So fortunately, with Radha ma'am has spoken to us around November, I think, correct? November last year. Then we said when she spoke about also explained about why don't we do something differently? We can go for she named us as assisted employment. So why don't you give our products to us? We train the people in our premises and give you the product back because some of the products we do outsource to the outside agencies. Why don't you, instead of outsourcing, why don't you give it to us? Then immediately we said, instead of you are ready to do it, why not we? So we have a place, we have ambitious people who wanted to serve to this kind of the noble causes. Why don't we do it ourselves inside our organization? That was the very reason we said immediately we have agreed with that proposal. We said, why don't we start? Let's take as a pilot project. We called as a assisted employment so that we have signed an agreement with them so that they will bring the trainer and also the people and give it to us. It's our duty to accept them as part of our employees. Then also we'll give them the equality in the space where they live inside the premises, and also we'll do the proper training. So just it's 45 days old in this process, this project, the new project which you have started. So the kids are very nice and good. So they quickly accustomed to our environment. That is the first thing we have to do because they have been grown up in a different environment. Also, they have been trained in a different places. Also, the first time when they get into the professional environment, it will be really shocking for them. So that was the first thing what we have done. We said nothing to worry, please sit and do. So the first 30 days, what they have done, they have been doing the drawing, what I have been experienced to do it. Also, we have helped them to hold some of the components and see then whether they can possible to hold and do it. Now, a couple of people have seen that they are quickly learned within the last 50 to 3 weeks. So they started doing the simple activities. It's a mundane activities. Someone else to do it instead of giving to someone. We are given to the special children. They are already started doing. They are giving there. They are also feeling proud that I have done this. If I cross by and meet them for a tea or a coffee, so they say that I have done this much of quantities in from morning to evening. That's how they respond to us. So we are really happy to be part of it. Our objective is not only we limit with this, we wanted to expand in other processes wherever these people are very good and very focused. They are good and doing the mundane activities, means the repeated activities. So if that is the case, there are many things which we can in the organization. We can employ these people so to get the work done for the repeated access. Not only in the shop floor, in the manufacturing place, also we have ambition to expand in other functions, in administrative functions. There are places where someone has to sit and do the data crunching. So then they can do the data because they are really focused. If you can set up a place and set up the spreadsheet, they can keep on doing the data crunching. Also, we want to employ a couple of people in the front office and also in HR services. This is our long-term ambition. Just we have started the beginning of the year with assisted employment in the shop floor. So it is long to go. But at the same time, I'm happy to see that it is really picking up in countries in India in the manufacturing sector, not only in Chennai, it's across. Even we have one more plant in the western side in Ahmedabad. There also we have been propagating and trying to replicate the same setup there. so that we will be an example to the other surrounding industries. Then it will really pick up and provide, at least it brings the confidence to the parents. Especially parents are the really worried people. They will be worrying about the future of these kids. So when we the organization like us, when we come forward, and you also have to cooperate to provide and bring your children to us, so that we will take care of the kids and provide the proper training, so that we will, what we are doing is really, we will make them employable by anyone. Not only we will not restrict to ourselves, they can go to any organization, they can continue, they can also attend interviews like others, what others are doing. Also we will be eligible to earn what others are earning. It was the objective of setting up this program. But real thanks to Radha ma'am for providing this, bringing this the kids. Because as an individual, also as an organization, we can't go out and identify. Even as a parent, you will be worried why we are coming and asking your kid to come to our office. But when we work with the NGOs, reputed NGOs like this, because they are renowned, they are trained, they train the kids, so that there is the trust in them, so that it's easy for us to work with people like and build jointly. We can build the global noble cause for the entire the future world. Thank you.
First, I would like to say thank you, Raj, for this wonderful, I don't know what to call it. I'm at loss for words for this wonderful initiative that you want to take forward. It means a lot to every NGO. It means a lot to the parents who are, there today here this morning. And, it means so much of hope, starting with a great note. And I'm really grateful for this answer from you, from this news from you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Radha ma'am, would you like to tell us how the training happens, how the vocational training happens at your center, and what skills are expected from these kids?
Well, I would say this magic happened some time ago when we were discussing about at school. We were discussing about the 90% population of any NGO, for that matter, have children with more challenges. Either some of them are non-verbal, or they have some behavioral challenges. Sometimes we realize that we need to actually train them a lot more, so that they would be able to accommodate in any different environment. So I've been always worried about this population in the sense that I know, because of some of their challenges, and especially non-verbal children and things like that, it's very difficult to get them into open employment. So I've been thinking of something that we should do, and our success does not lie in the 10 or 12 or 15 students that we place outside. We all must look at the larger population, where we can give them a life of dignity. That is very important. So we were thinking of assisted employment. The word supported employment is what is very common when you see on Google. But I thought this is just, when you say assistant, it means you're not going to give them eternally. I felt assistance means all of us need assistance for something or the other. So I look at it like that. So when you give them this assistance, maybe for some it is a week, for some it may be 6 months or a year, but doesn't matter, they still pick up. So I said, let's call this assisted employment. And then I broached this idea with Raj. And, and I was saying, why don't you outsource, like what I told you earlier? So I said, why don't you, do something for us? And instantly, I don't know, he just thought for 2 seconds. And then immediately he said, yeah, we have our own premise. Why don't you come here? And then we will train your children. See, this is something that came out, but I think he spoke from his heart. And a company to say, and representing a company and saying it there, of course, as a human being, is a wonderful person. And also representing a company to give, suddenly give you a solution like this. And I said, no company has come forward, with due respect to every company. But somehow this is the first of its kind that we have heard. And so this is a very new concept, assisted employment. And we realized that we had to do this. And when he answered this way, I was saying it's a new concept, because all of us have only trained our children. This is my 32nd year of work with Swabodhini. I started in '89. 32 years has been a very long journey for me. And all the time we kept training them in photocopying, if they are vocational students, I'm saying, in vocational skills like the photocopying and scanning, lamination, and then making paper cups. And then we did culinary, we did retail, we run our own grocery store, and then we trained them in all the nuances of running a shop. If they're cognitively better, sorry to use, but then some children have more challenges. So children who have less challenges, we try to ask them to work on inventory or even writing out, working on the bill, writing it manually. So there are so many activities that you have to introduce. So when we were doing all this, at the end of it, we would look for a job. When you look for a job, it is so difficult because you don't know which company would accommodate, what kind of skills what is their main area of work, and then to explore all that was very difficult. Especially NGOs, we don't have enough resources to do that. But when Raj mentioned this, and when he said, we'll place and train. He said, we'll give you a place in a premise and we will train your students. That means they're taking the junk of the responsibility to train our students. And I think this is a great move from the community, a great move from industries, that they have volunteered to train the student. So for us, it's much easier because then you train them in a particular skill, whatever the company does. For example, they assemble water pumps. And so if they're going to start with the basics with them, I'm sure you're just concentrating and focusing on one activity and the children will do their best. But otherwise, in NGOs, we kind of train them in all kinds of skills, like we say, jack of all trades and master of none. Sorry to say that. But that's what happens because you think every skill is important. So sometimes we dilute in the way we train. But in this process of assisted employment, a unique concept and a new norm, like COVID-19, this is a new norm. Nobody has done this. And Grundfos has come forward to help us with this concept. And definitely we're going to speak to other companies about this, saying that why don't they take in the children and train them so that more children in the community will get employment. And I'm very thankful to Grundfos for having introduced this. So the magic happened when I and Raj were speaking, and then I had, as usual, I went on to say that we have to get this together. And imagine Raj saying, "Okay, we'll meet tomorrow." I never expected such a sudden kind of an association. And thank you, Raj, for all that support that you gave us. And that's how assisted employment started. We placed them on Jan 4th. And now it is more than a month now, and I'm glad they are settled down. There are 4 students, and these students seem to be picking up. And I realized that the people, the managers at the shop floor, concentrate on each child for a week. The others are given activity, but then concentrate on one child. And once the child picks up, he's also able to help the other student. So there is so much of inclusivity there, and they are in the midst of the production unit. That is, they have a place, a designated place, but it's so open with all the other employees around. So there is, whenever there's a tea time or a lunch time, there's so much of interaction. So I'm sure this is magic. There's nothing but magic that has happened for this, for our kind of population where we need support from institutions and organizations. And that's where the magic started. Anything else that you want me to add, Raj?
No, thank you for briefing this. But as you said, we should not stop only with this. This is just a beginning. So yes, even within us, then we will also take it to the next level. Also, we will be the forerunners and speaking to, because we are present in the multiple forum. When we speak to the peer industries, definitely we will also put across so that industry now, as you said, the organizations are ready to receive the new ideas. Also, they wanted to do something for the society back. So under this circumstances, we need to capitalize on this. So we will take this forward also in a faster way. Then we will also, just for the parents' sake, it's not only, don't imagine like it will be looks like a typical manufacturing environment when your kid comes from a different from your home. And this year we have created an environment such a way that they are also sitting like in a school, a normal kindergarten school, and also whatever the facility they enjoy in the school and also at your home, the same kind of facilities we have created so that they will they will settle in the premises well. Then they will mix with the people. As she said, then they are not only sitting aloof and discussing among themselves during the break time, during the coffee and lunch. They mingle with the existing people, even the elderly people, also the young people. They are all. I have seen them. Actually, we are seeing that people are mixing and going and asking questions. They are also responding back. Also, to add on a couple of things, this is really a surprise. I'm experiencing this for the last 4 years, because only last 4 years I'm coming regularly to the office, because I was working from other countries before. Uh, the only one person who does the verbal communication. When I meet them in the morning, when I go around in the shop floor, most of our normal employees, simply for respect sake, they will say good morning like this, only by raising the hand. But these are the two kids. They say good morning by verbal. They will not take any hand, but they say good morning. Very pleased, and there will be a pleasant in the morning when we hear good morning from these people. So that is my personal experience. And apart from this, taking away the personality in here, but organizations. Because since we have a full support, and also it is part of our DNA, it is coming from top, from our owner, from the chairman to us. So it is easy for us to implement these kind of ideas into the organization. And I said yes to Radha ma'am, but we have it's already preconceived, because it's already pre-thought. We have been working on this for some years, so that is why it is for me to say yes, and we can. Why don't we implement quickly? That kind of taking the decision for taking a decision, then there isn't support from the full support from the organization. So since the company is backing me up, so it is easy for us to go and implement these kind of ideas.
Raj, I have a question here. When you started this, or even when Mr. Rangana started, how did the employees, I mean, the other, co-workers, peer people, how did they take this? When you said that you were going to take in children with, or students with little challenges?
Yes, that's a good question. Yes, including me, because for me, I experienced in Denmark when I saw it first time. But for other employees, it's a real surprise. Some people came and asked, "Are you taking the right call?" But we don't know how they behave inside the shop floor, because there are some safety issues. Also, there are multiple different kind of people are working. Then we need to. But we said, then we will take this as an initiative. We will create a separate place. Also, good that you have put your trainer in place. They have supported. They worked along with our employees to train the people. First, we talk about the behavioral aspects. Then before we touch upon anything, well, first the behavioral, and the second one is their settlement the environment. Then only we have started training on the job. Yes, there is some assistant from the people, especially from the people comes with the old school of the, because almost 12 years old back. So yes, there was some assistant, but today everyone is open. Everyone is happy that we have taken the right call, because today we can't make out any difference between our special kids and the normal employees. So we don't ever be differentiate. Will be they wear the same uniform, they work in the same place. Then moreover, they will earn the same salary of the same experience age. So now it has become a normal. When we brought in the second set of people, now it has become everyone has started volunteering. It's not only your trainer is training. Here today we are more than 10 trainers sitting there and training them in a different ways. So I'm happy to see that at least we have motivated the people to do. So when they are doing for the organization, they will do something for the society back somewhere.
Well, thank you, Raj. That's nice to hear. And I have seen, I've heard that these boys who've been placed there much earlier, they're also going for the meetings, whether they participate or not, maybe they just sit quietly and come back, but they're also part of the meeting. It just shows how much they are respected and how much they are inclusive. So that's very nice to hear from from the boys themselves, that they attend the meetings.
Yeah. Also, one more thing to add, we conduct a town hall, means we share our company results, also what has happened in the last 3 months to all the employees. So we don't differentiate. We call all of them. So I have seen these four people sitting in front of us. Sometimes we call them, we respond. Usually it will be the mutual interactive session. We'll ask some of the employees. So once even Balaji asked a question to me. So it was really happy. Then they're also not only participating in the meeting, also they actively participating in the town halls.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Saujanya.
I have a question for you. As an organization creating employment opportunities, what are the parameters that you are looking for in terms of education and technical skills for hiring?
So the first criteria is the age. So beyond 18, because we need to fulfill the compliance factor in India. So that is the only criteria we have and for. Then second one is the basic the behaviors, because they are coming out of their house and also the training center. They will be in a open to the open space, and also there will be hundreds of people sitting there. Little bit of behavior. That is why we have equipped with the trainer for assisting them to taking them to the coffee place, taking them to for the lunch space, and taking them to the restroom. These are the things what we expect, at least from Grundfos point of view, from our point of view. We have not put in any restrictions is there. But having experience for the last 10 years, also getting the input from our parent organizations. So these guys are coming with a special, what is that? It is their abilities are special. So this first thing is we need to take out there. They come raw. So our responsibility to find out the right ability what they have, so that we can identify and train them in a proper place, so that they can experience in that particular area. So what we are doing is we are putting them in a general training now. So since they have not come with any education background, we have put them in a proper training. We will take the responsibility based on their skills, what they have exhibited in the last 6 months. Because we said that we will train them for the first 6 months, then we will put them into the regular role. First 6 months, we will identify where they will be suitable to work with, considering the some places they need to stand for 4 hours, some places they can sit and operate, some places they have to stand for 8 hours. So it depends on the need, depends on the physical ability and the mental ability what they are showing. We will identify and train in that place. So just to answer your question, from our point of view, we are not expecting any the technical training or the education background for from these kind of children. If they are coming up with this is then the different set. That is why we said we will expand this employable opportunity in the office spaces, where it's starting from a front office, the HR services, finance services, and the data management. So these are the areas open. If the kids are coming with the educational background, they can be put in and trained into these kind of areas. Hope I answered. Or is there anything
Thank
specific?
you. That was very helpful. That was very helpful. So, Radha ma'am, would you
Yes.
like to tell parents like what are the different internship opportunities that were provided to children?
See, we have been, as I mentioned earlier, we have given them training in all areas possible. For behaviors, for walking on the road. We do concentrate on experiential learning. For example, going to the shop, visiting, going on the train, going a bus ride. So it's different places. We have a task analysis where we break it up, and depending on the needs of the child, we train them. Maybe when the bus is not crowded at 11 o'clock, maybe when it's a little more crowded, and then when they would get into the bus themselves. So one person would stand at one bus stop, the other teacher at the next bus stop, and then we see that they buy the ticket and then they get down, and they're not irritated when somebody moves them or pushes them or whatever is it. And then we see that they get down. Otherwise, the teacher would get into the bus immediately. So this is the way we try to make them as independent as possible. I'm just giving you an example of the training that we do at Swabodhini. And so we look at all kinds of aspects so that they become independent even after the parents, whoever looks after them, they should not be a burden. So our training focuses on all areas possible under the sun, right? So the internships, what we did was, once we realized they had a lot of experience, they were though they did not express, though they don't express or communicate the way we do, we also believe that not speaking does not mean you have nothing to say. So we try to understand where they're coming from. At the same time, we do understand they have understood the concept, so that they do know about it. Just believe in them and then try practically and see how well whatever they have learned, whatever we have imparted, they are able to put it into practice and generalize the concepts out in the community. So we started our internship programs and we have placed them in a number of companies. We realized some students stayed there for a few months, some were there for a few weeks when they wanted more training at a center, and then we sent them back. I have a few pictures which Saujanya would play. I will just rush through that. I mean, maybe just go through that, saying that what kind of companies we have placed them before we consider them for permanent placement or even for placement in a job profile. This is basically to teach them different skills, to be out in the open, mixing with everybody else, mingling, talking, communication, being on their own, listening to instructions, a number of things they pick up. And then we try to mentor them if they have a problem. Saujanya, can we have the pictures, please?
Yes, ma'am. Just give me 1 second. Let me share the screen.
Yes.
Yeah, while she is loading the pictures, just one more training what we have done for the kids when they come in. It's wearing a safety shoes. You know, the industry environment. It is just to keep ourselves safe. We ask them to wear the safety shoes. It's very difficult, even for me, when I not wear for 1 week and again wear for the next day. They find it difficult. But these kids, within 3 days' time, they have been used to that. They started wearing on their own and the tying the knot properly, and because it will be little heavier than the normal shoes what they wore normally. So now they are used to that. It took only 3 4 days for them to settle down and wearing the safety shoes. This is the first training which we have given when they started coming into our office.
Good. Good to know.
Sir, how would you encourage being a leader and taking this initiative?
Yes, one as an individual, wherever we are present in the industry peer forums, and we are part of the manufacturing industries, also the pumping industries, where we have already started positioning about this. We have not talked about the assisted employment, but we have talked about the creating the employment opportunity. We talk on a larger scale about the inclusivity in the industries. That is what it's really picking up Indian manufacturing, because both the diversity and the inclusivity is all the jargons which we picked up in the last few years. Okay, now also companies have started focusing on the sustainability, considering the sustainability agenda and the CSR agenda. So we are propagating with all the manufacturing industries, at least the peer industries, with our equal level. We are speaking to them. Also, we share some of the experience what we have done, what we have experienced in Grundfos. Also, if you look into, there are some people working with us with limb handicap. We don't call it as handicap, without one hand or without a limb or not able to walk, or some accident happen, even for our existing employees happen, then we will continue to put them in the flexible workplace. See, this is how we are going back to the society. It's not only us, otherwise it will be very selfish. Then we will do only for us. So what we do, we are already speaking about this, the opportunities, why the industries have to create and how they can create. Then what are the benefits when they do this? This is what we are speaking to the peer industries. Again, apart from this, it's we need to push this idea into our management and also the people. There are budding managers. Tomorrow they will be sitting as a responsible position in the other organization. When they go back, then they need to deploy this kind of thoughts in the new organization. That's what we are doing. Not only encouraging the industries to do, also our employees to contribute to this employee engagement activities. These are the two things we are doing here. Also, we are forerunning it. As sometimes, as a leader, we need to speak about this first. We need to be the forerunner and the example to the other employees. That's what we are doing it here.
Good.
Thank you, sir. That's very encouraging. Thank you.
At this point, I would also like to add that Rane Group has come forward to take in students. In fact, we've been discussing even much earlier than also when they spoke with Raj. It's just that they have their factories a little far away, and so we are still under the process of how our students would commute. We are very keen in taking our students, and I see other companies coming forward now, although I can't mention the names because the dialogue has not started. So there is a lot of awareness, and I'm very happy to say that within a few months, I think there will be other companies coming, and Swabodhini is starting an employment bank, not an official sense of employment bank, but then to say that students from other NGOs who are skill ready will enroll with us. We will do an assessment on the skill level because we have done this for more than a decade now, about 1.5 decades. So we said we will do an assessment on all areas, their physical and then as well as their cognitive abilities, the ability to understand and ability to execute or implement the concepts taught. So we're doing this. So we're trying to get students from other NGOs. So it's just like what Raj said, it's just not our company, our school, our things. It is for the other children around, for other people who still can be employed, and we are trying to reach out to them so that the companies would take them. So since we have created some kind of trust in the work that we have done from the company, we are now trying to promote other students from NGOs to join these companies. So I think that's a new initiative that we have started at Swabodhini, and I hope to reach out to more and more children.
Good.
So let me go ahead and try to share what a wonderful collaboration it is and some pictures. Please let me know if you can see it on the screen.
Yes, it's coming.
Okay. So, ma'am, you want to say something?
Well, these are the three boys who started in 2010. Hari Haran, the last right, came to Swabodhini at the age of 3.5, very hyper, was all over the place, and he had problems with speech. And also, even later, there was a lot of academic, I won't say academically, he was not very sound. He was not able to pick up a lot of things, and spoke only in Tamil also. And he had difficulties in understanding a lot of concepts. But he has grown, he has, I would say, trained in different kinds of areas, like whatever we had, retail, experiential learning, bit of functional literacy and numeracy. All that he seemed to improve. At the age of 19, he was placed in Grundfos. And he's there now for the last decade. I believe he's heading a team. I mean, helping out with the team, a bigger team now. I'm very happy to hear that the boy, Vaishnav, at the end of the last left, we lost him to cancer. He's no more. It's very sad for us. But Balaji is the one next to me on the other side on my right. And Balaji and Hari are there for the last decade. And I believe they're doing very good work. They're very well appreciated. And I'm very proud of my students.
Both of them are working in the mainstream because they make the pumps on their own. Especially Ari, no one supports him. He makes from starting from scratch, to build the pump package and till ship it to the customer. So this is the job he is doing in the mainstream.
It's wonderful, sir. It's wonderful. So let me play it.
Next, Sarojana. So I will just go through this. These are all internships where we have placed them. The first one has my students, two of them, cutting vegetables and fruits for salads in Lennox. Lennox is a company where they decided to help us with some kind of internship. So the students go there for about 2 hours in the morning, and they were there for 3-4 months, and they finished the internship. So now they're ready. They do that in school, and we staff buy it from them. The staff or the parents who stop by buy the vegetables and fruit. So we're very proud of these students who have finished their internship. The second one is also that they also in a particular part of Lennox, I think, helping out with the kitchen work. The third one is, I think, in one is Writers Cafe, at the Writers Cafe where he was helping out in the kitchen. And that's Nikhil. He did his internship for 3-4 months there. The next one is a writer's cafe. Also, this last one, helping with whatever the instructor, dear instructor, is telling him to do, picking up some skills there. We have Joshua on this right down there, the first picture down, and he is now he's part of the assisted employment project in Grundfos. He is good. He is good with his numbers. He is very good with billing. He worked at the retail store and very quiet but communicative. When you ask him some questions, he will let you give you an answer. And but he's picked up a lot of confidence now. Now he's able to communicate much more, even within a span of just 1 month. So he's now being trained in a shop. We put him in a shop and he's been trained. And the next one is doing at our shop at a retail center. There's Abhishek in the second picture. He's learning how to put things away and look at the bill and to pick up items so that he can give it to the customer. The other two are the next picture is when Savera offered a training program for housekeeping, and this student was involved in that. He did the training, he completed it, got a certificate from them. Now he's placed outside. The last picture is about, I think, doing in one of the consultancy firms that we placed him. He does data entry. There's another boy who also works at Shankar Netralaya. He gets all the files and then he does data entry and keeps track of all the documents. So these are the internship programs. Then we have one at Indian Terrain. The first picture, Indian Terrain is a company that deals with clothes and they export clothes. And he's there. He was there in the computer division. Next is Kaustav. Kaustav has been recruited by Guru Nanak College, Velachari, and they are very happy with him. He's in charge of inventory of all the classrooms. So he continues there. Next one is Mahesh. Mahesh is part of a consultancy firm where he does scanning and photocopying for them, and also in charge of all the magazines there. The last picture is also Hari Kumaresh, who is now ready to get into Grundfos. He was already screened by them before the COVID, but this is a certificate that he got from Savera Hotel after this housekeeping internship. These are students whom we have, some of the students whom we have placed outside.
He looks very happy taking the certificate.
Naturally.
Yes. So you want to say something here?
Yes, he will have a lot to say about that.
Joshua, I love speaking to him. So yes, he is communicative. Also, he listens and sharply answers. See, these are the two guys. These are the first job what we have given for crimping the electrical wires which goes into the electrical panel. These are the jobs people are doing. First 1 or 2 weeks, people, all of them were sitting and continue to do their job. They do the drawing during the break time. What we do, we don't load them with the full hours. Maybe for 30 minutes they work, they go back to the continue to do the drawing for 30 minutes and again come back. So that is the time our supervisors and our employees will come and train what these people are supposed to do it. So it's really happy to see the progress that especially those two boys are picked up in a week's time and started. It's been regularly they are making the crimping. So these jobs have been done outside earlier before we give it to them. So now what they learn here, one, we are proud to get this product done by through them. Also, the people are, especially these two kids, are really feeling proud. At least they are contributing to the organization back. Because the bottom one, what you see, I was speaking about Harigaran, the last bottom, the
Last picture.
the last picture. The bottom one is Harigaran. This is the pump. It's a pressure booster pump which is being used in every household nowadays. It's been produced by him on his own. So there is no, it's a completely conveyor one. He does end-to-end the assembly, then till packing, then he supplies. Also, the bottom left is Balaji. He is doing one critical activity. It's for drilling and cutting. Then he does on his own. He is the only one who does in that area. Entire job was carried out by him on regular basis.
That's really very nice, sir. I would like to play the video once again.
Holding the tool and It's not even our normal human beings. We can't do it with 1 week training because they're having such a focus. They could easily pick up. These are other three people. Okay. Yeah.
We see them sitting nicely and they're working very well.
So far, if
The
they want to
method
relax,
telling.
they can set behind. They can. Usually, they have the tea there and also snacks sitting there.
That's really nice, sir. So you both have to say about this.
Yes, this is what had come on LinkedIn. Grundfos has mentioned that these three students, the last one is Yuvraj, who joined in 2016, I think, and they are doing very well. And there was a remark, there was a thing that these boys are very committed, very passionate about what they do, and the other regular employees are completely in awe of this timing. They are there at 8:15, 8:30 they are supposed to start, but not a single day they come after 8:15, and they don't take off unnecessarily. So they see they're very, very committed to their work. And every time when he talks to me, he says, I do my job. I don't talk to anybody. It's my job to just, follow what my supervisor or my manager says. And I'm so proud to hear that. Initially, when I used to go into Grundfos, when they had joined, they would run out to, swipe and let me in. The three of them would run out together. And then I used to wonder what would the manager think if you should see them running to receive me there. But later now, when I go there, so much of being part of that mainstream, they just turn around and say, good morning, ma'am, and then they continue with their work. They don't even stop to say, talk, unless they are given permission by the manager. Or, of course, the manager wouldn't mind them talking, but then they have followed this work ethics. And I'm so happy to see them part of that mainstream people there. Very nice.
Very, very disciplined. Yes, just to compliment on what you said, ma'am. It's very, very disciplined, focused, and also only the time what they mingle is during the break time. They don't sit alone. They sit along with the people because we have a special place for having coffee, tea, and have a chit chat and during the breaks. So they mingle with them and do their normal job. Even our employees also accepted that other people. They also started at least conversing with them on regular basis.
Good.
Also, one more thing is, as you said, since none of the days they will come late, and also they don't unnecessarily take leaves. That is also most important. They love coming back to the office on daily basis.
Correct. Correct. And,
It's really wonderful.
Again, thanks to the parents also, because parents also is motivating it because they are really supporting these kids. That is why the both the sides. Kids are motivated and disciplined. Also, at the same time, parents are supporting and organization supporting. That is how we can make this a success. It's not only the parents, not only the people who can employ, and not only the kids. All three of them also the society has to support so that it will become an inclusivity will part of our natural. It's not the special thing what we do. It will become part of our life. As you said, as a normal, this will become a part of our normal life. Future.
correct.
Very true, sir. Very well said. Thank you. This is the last slide, and I would like to thank you, Raj sir and Radha ma'am, for collaborating with me and helping so many parents on MITRA platform know about how employment takes place, how training takes place, how companies are coming forward and hiring them, and how the future looks bright for them. Thank you for creating an inclusive society, and my special thanks to Grundfos for hiring and being a pioneer in creating an inclusive workspace. Thank you so much for your valuable time and your guidance. Thank you for being part of Mitra.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you very much. Thanks for giving an opportunity to present here. Thank you.